Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so the Inner Development Goals is a not-for-profit organization for inner development, and it is based in Sweden. And it research, collects, and communicates science-based skills and qualities to help people to live purposeful, sustainable, and productive lives. They started in Sweden this initiative because, as you probably know, as we were saying before with the people that were already on the call, we are halfway to the 2030 deadline of the Sustainable Development Goals. That is this framework of 17 goals and related targets that the United Nations adopted to reach a sustainable world by 2030. But unfortunately, the results so far has been disappointing. If we are halfway on the timeline, we are not even halfway on the progress to these goals. Between the causes that these researchers found out is the lack of inner capacity to deal with a complex environment and complex challenges. So it means that actually our brain or our skills, if you want, are not good enough to deal with the change or the shift of mindset that is needed to reach the Sustainable Development Goals. And these researchers found out that actually these abilities can be developed today thanks to new methodologies that are being used. So the IDG started across 2020, 2021 with 2 online surveys with more than 1,000 participants, and then the co-creation of 23 organizations. Also, we had already 3 conferences, all of them in Sweden, if I'm right, with more than 30,000 participants. So this is, of course, not the first framework that promote inner development. It's not the first time some scientists, psychologists, or sociologists propose this approach, but it's the first time that is very focused on the Sustainable Development Goals, so on the SDGs. And it's the first time that is co-created and spread with a worldwide community. This community is made of practitioners, scientists, consultants, coaches, and us, for example, that travel lovers in our case, that want to put into action this framework collectively. Also, the European Parliament recommend implementation. They recommend the framework for the implementation and delivery of Sustainable Development Goals resolution. So to give you an idea of the IDGs hubs worldwide, this is the current situation, more or less. There are more than 200 hubs. Some of them are already well organized, structured. For example, the Sweden one, the Swedish one is Sweden. Others are more informal or in the making, as in our case, as we are still collecting or gathering interest in people, organization, and business. In other cases, are just simple people or simple business. They use the IDGs, but they join this online community. And this differentiation is due mainly on the approaches. So we would like to apply this framework to the travel and tourism, but there are people applying it on the artistic sector, using music, using poetry to develop these skills. Or there are people using yoga and meditation to develop these skills. And there are people using more traditional coaching approach in the enterprises. And this is why we thought about creating a hub of travel and tourism, because we will see later with the list of the skills, we saw a very strong connection, a very strong similarities between the inner development of people and organization and the travel practices. Quickly here, you have some of the enterprises that in Europe are already agreed in applying the IDGs in their policies or practices or strategies to reach the Sustainable Development Goals. Some of them use it in the human resources department, some others training the executive managers of the enterprises, some other in the research and development, for example, creating startups that already has the IDGs at the core of the business. And here we are. This is the framework. You see that there are 5 dimensions for a total of 23 skills. I will go through all of them. I would like to ask you to think about which one of these, or which ones of these skills resonates with you, or you better you would apply, for example, to your organization or to your daily life. As for the SDGs, we cannot go or apply or work on all of them at the same time. It would be impossible. But there are always 2 or 3 that we really feel close to us, or that are useful for the goals of our business or organizations. So the first dimension is called being, the relationship to ourselves. Cultivating our inner life and developing and deepening our relationship to our thoughts, feelings, and body help us to be present, intentional, and non-reactive when faced complexity. We can say this is the basis. So it all starts within ourselves. And this is why we need to develop these skills that allow us to know ourselves. And you can see 5 abilities listed: inner compass, having a deeply felt sense of responsibility and commitment to values and purpose relating to the good of the whole; integrity and authenticity. Are we able, for example, to act within with values such as sincerity, honesty, and integrity? Openness and learning mindset, having a basic mindset of curiosity and willingness to be vulnerable and embrace change and grow. Self-awareness, are we able to be in contact with our thoughts, feelings, and desires? Are we able to have a realistic self-image and ability to regulate ourselves? And then presence, ability to be here and now without judgment and in a state of open-ended presence. Just to make a quick connection with the travel world, you can see that already the first skill as compass as a word, so a travel tool, and it could be a case, but in our opinion, is not a coincidence. If you go through the listed skills, you can see a lot of connection and similarities between the travel experience and the abilities that are listed here. Think also about, for example, sustainable tourism or slow tourism, like train travel, hiking, biking, this kind of activity that almost force us to be aware of ourselves, to spend time with ourselves, and compare it, for example, for the hit and run of the modern era, of the modern world. The second dimension is called thinking, so the cognitive skills. Developing our cognitive skills by taking information and making sense of the world as an interconnected whole is essential for a wise decision making. You can see again 5 skills listed here. Critical thinking, skills in critically reviewing the validity of views, evidence, and plans. Complexity awareness, understanding of and skills in working with complex and systemic conditions and causalities. Perspective skills, skills in seeking understanding and actively making use of insights from contrasting perspective. Sense making, skills in seeing patterns, structuring the unknown, and be able to consciously create stories. And the long-term orientation and visioning, long-term orientation and ability to formulate and sustain commitment to vision relating to the larger context. So think about, for example, this last skill. How is hard today for an enterprise manager to have a long-term orientation when they have a very short-term KPIs that I would say the average is 6 months, for example, or 1 year in the best case. So how can we develop or work in the direction of the SDGs that are a very long-term vision if our daily life has very short-term deadline, for example. And again, here, we can say this dimension is a little bit the bridge between ourselves, so between the first dimension where we were knowing ourselves and the outer, and then the others, and the bridge with the world outside. And again, I see here a lot of similarities or connection with the travel practices, the fact that we understand different perspectives when traveling, for example, or we understand how complex is the world. The third dimension is called relating, caring for others and the world, appreciating, caring, and caring for and feeling connected to others, such as neighborhoods, future generation, or the biosphere, help us to create more just and sustainable systems and societies for everyone. This could be, sorry. We can say these abilities are the means that we use to externalize our inner journey that we started with the first dimensions, and to externalize our willing to have an impact, a better impact in the world. There are 4 skills here: appreciation, relating to others and to the world with a basic sense of appreciation, gratitude, and joy. Connectedness, having a keen sense of being connected with and or being part of a larger whole, such a community, humanity, or global ecosystem. Humility, being able to act in accordance with the needs of the situation without concern for one's own importance. Empathy and compassion, the ability to relate to others, oneself, and nature with kindness, empathy and compassion, and address related suffering. Let's say that I don't linger long on this slide, because here the relation with traveling, it's very strong to me, as all these abilities in such a way we put into practice when traveling. The connection with the humanity as a whole, or feeling part of a global ecosystem, the humility in the relation with the others, or the empathy and compassion at the same time. So it's very strong to me, the matching between the inner journey to development and the outer journey of people. The fourth dimension is called collaborating, so the social skills. To make progress and share concerns, we need to develop our abilities to include and space and communicate with stakeholders with different values, skills, and competencies. Here, we are getting ready to action. As we started within ourselves, we develop our thinking and relating skills. Now here we are getting ready to action. We can see 5 skills: communication skills, the ability to really listen to others, to manage conflicts constructively, and to adapt communication to diverse groups. The co-creation skills, to build, develop, and facilitate collaborative relationships with diverse stakeholders, characterized by psychological and safety and genuine co-creation. Inclusive mindset and intercultural competence, willingness and competence to embrace diversity and include people and collectives with different views and backgrounds. Trust, ability to show trust and to create and maintain trusting relationships. And mobilization skills. Skill is in inspiring and mobilizing others to engage in shared purpose. Again, I don't stay too much on this slide, because again, I see a lot of connections and similarities with the travel practices. Traveling and tourism, for example, is one of the most engaging and mobilizing industry worldwide, like more than music, for example, or fashion, or sports. And also when traveling, we in such a way we can work on the other skills that are listed here as communication or inclusive mindset. And here we are with the dimension number 5, the last one, called acting. So finally, enabling change. Qualities such as courage and optimism help us acquire true agency, break all partners, generate original ideas, and act with persistence and in uncertain times. So now here, If before we were getting ready to action, now here we are ready to go and lead the change. You can see it from the listed, also the listed abilities and skills. Courage, the ability to stand up for values, make decisions, take decisive action, and if need be, challenge and disrupt existing structures and view. Creativity, the ability to generate and develop original ideas, innovate, and being willing to disrupt conventional patterns. Optimism, ability to sustain and communicate a sense of hope. Positive attitude and confidence in the possibility of meaningful change. And perseverance, the ability to sustain engagement and remain determined. And patience, even when efforts take a long time to bear fruit. So these are the five dimensions with the 23 skills. Again, I could tell you how close I feel with this acting when traveling, with these acting skills when traveling. The fact that traveling is having courage to go outside of our comfort zone, or for example, traveling makes us creatives in such a way, inspiring us to take pictures or enjoying different kind of arts. And also we are very optimistic when we are traveling. So starting from these 5 dimensions and skills and the connection that we saw with the travel and tourist industry, we as Travel Power are gathering a community of businesses, travelers, NGOs, and practitioners of the university that will help us actually in organize workshops and webinars in which we can work on differently in different moments on all the skills and dimensions, and all these in the travel and tourism contest. So what we saw when discovering this new framework is the comparison with tourism related to the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, something that is very, let's say, the hardware of sustainability, and the IDGs related to travel. So one related to industry and the other related to the experience of traveling itself. And this is why we are now going ahead with this hub. And to conclude, this is the kind of organization that we would like to give to the hub. There are 4 group of stakeholders. Let's say 2 of them that work bottom up and are the travelers that push for sustainable travel practices. So they push supply and demand for sustainable travel, but they also boost the bottom up acceptance of the framework and the travel and sustainable traveling, gaining on their side in their growth, so a better travel experience and a better impact on the environment and people. And also bottom up, we identify the NGOs or organizations or not-for-profit. So they say the society in an organized way that can amplify the reach of the framework and certify its validity. Also validation of the methods they would use to develop the skills in the business or in the travelers. And they will gain on their side a strong engagement, because traveling is a very engaging practice, and innovation in their work, in their daily work. And then you have 2 group of stakeholders that can, we can say, have an impact top down, and is the research and public sector, as they are the same that the NGOs can amplify and certify the methodologies and help us to validate them, and they gain social innovation and accelerate sustainable development. So let's think about the public sector, how much they need to update their practices, or the way to communicate to the public, or the way the politicians and leaders deal with sustainability. And the same we can say of businesses. So we will include tourist businesses that, through their sustainable offer, actually can help us in boosting this framework, in boosting the inner development, and non-tourist business that can use the service of the tourist businesses to increase their inner growth as an organization, to increase, to have a different kind of coaching, and to transition and to boost their transition to a more sustainable practices. This is because these inner development goals can, of course, be applied to individual. But when we say inner, it's not just the inner of one person. It could be the inner, as you say at the beginning, with the enterprises that are already using this framework, is the inner development of the organization itself. So how the organization, it could be an enterprise, adapt to the new challenge of the world. And this hub, the travel and tourism, we use the local and national hubs that I show you in the first slide with the map of the world, because they will have then the language and structure to put a vertical, let's say, to develop a vertical services on the travel itself. That's it on my side. If you have questions, or if you have some feelings about the IDGs, or you want to share something, feel free to do it. Or we can give the word to Chris, that will introduce his hub in Thailand, and see actually how they are doing, how they are applying the framework. When you want, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Now in Thailand it's about nearly 6 p.m. So it should be the good evening then from Thailand. And I see some of you from Australia, right? From Europe. Anybody from US or Latin America? So mainly it's in the Europe, in Australia, and in Asia. Thank you, Eugenio, for inviting me to share the story about applying IDG to create some sustainability, especially in the field of SDG. In Thailand, the Tourism Authority of Thailand, they developed the new framework they call the STG, Sustainable Tourism Goal. It's the same as the similar to SDG from UN, but they change a little bit slightly word in terms of the tourism. And they have 17 category, the same thing. And actually we came from a University of Happiness in Thailand, and we registered as IDG Asia Pacific Innovation Center Hub. And we just got the award from Tourism Authority of Thailand as the 5-star STG. They have a level of 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star. And 5-star, I will show you what is a 5-star mean, and how can we develop the IDG as the engine to create sustainability. In the picture, we just got the award from the governor of the, we call in short TAT, Tourism Authority of Thailand. And at the same time, the Tourism Authority of Thailand, right now they promoting STG very much. We just got the news spread out last week on how we get the 5-star award, and also they have the movie star to help us to promote what we did in Thailand. Here is the video that TAT developed for sharing what we did in University of Happiness. It's about 2 or 3 minutes. I just want you to see what and who we are. And we are the university at near the lake, and we have a mountain at the back. And at the same time, we have the spot called Happiness Touch Point. And each Happiness Touch Point, we use the IDG to develop the learning to create the SDG in the different happiness touch point. I show you the video, then we we will discuss this later. And in video, they have a English subtitle. You can read on the detail of what they will display.
หลายคนพอได้ยินคำว่าซีโร่คาร์บอนนะครับเราจะมองว่ามันไกลตัวแต่จริงๆเนี่ยการจะทำซีโร่คาร์บอนให้ประสบความสำเร็จแล้วเนี่ยมันจะต้องหันกลับมาเริ่มจากตัวเราเองว่าจะยิ้มเราเนี่ยนะครับเรามีความเชื่อในการท่องเที่ยวแบบรักโลกหรือแบบยั่งยืนนะครับโดยที่เราทำแนวคิดของเรื่องโลคาร์บอนอยู่แล้วแต่พอเราได้รับการส่งเสริมและสนับสนุนจากปตทนี่ครับเราก็มองว่าแทนที่เป็นแค่โลคาร์บอนทำยังไงที่เราจะกลายเป็นซีโร่คาร์บอนนะครับกิจกรรมอันแรกคือกิจกรรมที่เราเรียกว่าสะพานวัดใจสังเกตการเดินข้ามสะพานก็คือการปรับตัวเข้ากับสิ่งที่มันมีการเปลี่ยนแปลงอยู่เสมอครับกิจกรรมที่2ก็คือกิจกรรมซิปไลน์ก็คือกิจกรรมที่ต้องโรยตัวลงมาจากบ้านต้นไม้นะครับลงสู่ทะเลสาบและที่3นะครับที่เป็นกลุ่มที่สำคัญคือการที่จะสร้างบอดี้ให้แข็งแรงครับเราจะมีการเดินขึ้นเขา5มังกรที่อยู่หลังไร่นะครับจะเป็นตัวที่จะเช็คว่าบอดี้ของเราเนี่ยแข็งแรงขนาดไหนอีกส่วนหนึ่งของบอดี้ที่สำคัญคือการที่เราจะอยู่กับทะเลสาบนะครับเพราะน้ำเป็นสิ่งสำคัญของชีวิตเรามีซับบอร์ดที่ทำให้เราต้องบาลานซ์ตัวเองกับแหล่งน้ำที่อยู่รอบตัวเราหรือการพายเรือแคนูเราก็ต้องใช้กระบวนการที่เราจะต้องเข้าใจเรื่องน้ำนะครับแล้วก็เรื่องลมเรื่องทิศทางต่างๆเข้ามาเที่ยวกันมากเลยคือกิจกรรมอาบป่าและรักแก้วความสุขนะครับเพราะการอาบป่าคือการที่เปิดอายตนะทั้ง5พอจมูกลิ้นกายใจนะครับเราจะค้นพบว่าเมื่อความเครียดมันสลายไปแล้วเนี่ยทำยังไงที่จะทำให้เราสามารถที่จะหาต่อมพลังของชีวิตก็คือรากแก้วที่ทำให้เกิดความสุขในตัวเรา
อีกหนึ่งกิจกรรมนะคะที่เป็นที่ชื่นชอบนะ
So I think the sample of sorry
We don't have your presentation. Okay, now it's back.
Okay. From the thing that you see from the video, we separate what we did in our University of Happiness in 4 areas. One is the inner development touch point. I'll show you some of the detail. Like you see the lady here hug the root of the tree. We call it the grassroots of happiness. The space that they can learn and they can get the inner compass of who they are and what is their what we call it happiness sweet spot. And from learning from the nature, they can use the connectedness to the nature and learning from the inside of their heart on the whispering from inside who they are. And I think it creates a present moment on the being from the IDG standpoint. This is just the few example. And we develop this incorporate to the SDG in the area like a climate action and also the education and well-being. So some of the strategic IDG can address 3 areas of the SDG. In Thailand, we call it STG. And another area is the waste management, energy management. And I think that is also the key for developing the University of Happiness also. At this moment, we are not just academic. We call it academic adventure. We use the adventure as the means to learning something new about the nature, about the happiness, and about the well-being. And at the same time, when we partner with the TAT, they want us to develop the resource for that the people can come and stay and learning about the sustainability, especially on the energy management and waste management of how we doing that. And we create the concept of like a farm stay so that they can stay in the organic farm and learn on what they are planning eating and have the waste, and how can they create a circular waste management, get back to develop the circular life of the food value chain. So at this, we call it happiness touch point, is the point that they can learn from applying IDG to the SDG. And we have this like a 9 happiness touch point. And also we relate the IDG and SDG with the ESG also, especially for the corporate client. Right now in Thailand, they use the ESG as the standard report to see what they comply with the governance, how can they develop the social collaboration, and also for the environmental subject. So this is the relationship between SDG, ESG, and IDG, happiness touchpoint. And actually, when you mention about IDG, I think IDG is the thing that you create the inside-out approach of the transformation. For the STAR or the SDG is more on systematic side. If you don't have the inner development, it's some kind of writing the report, addressing the KPI without the heart to create the action happening. And I think that is the key why the group of the people want to address on the IDG. I think that is the key to create the new movement or the move forward for the SDG or SDG. And at the same time, we try to mapping the SDG, IDG, and the ESG, and that is the key for the transformation. Especially in Thailand, we have the another concept on the Eastern concept from the King Rama the 9. He is the the father of the earth, father of the land, and he used the Eastern philosophy incorporate with the IDG. IDG is more, we call it more Western way to look at the inner side, but in the Eastern way, we have the Buddhism and also the King principle. If we can combine that, it will be the holistic way to look at the systematic and the feeling based, and also from the perspective of playing with the 4 pillar, like the earth, the fire, the wind, and the water. And I think that is something that very interesting to combine these two together. And this is the event that we got the award on the 5-star. And right now we are the role model to be the zero carbon tourism. And we use the IDG as the learning perspective to develop the community in our area, so that they can demonstrate the walk the talk concept. Not just the leader in University of Happiness, but the people around the University of Happiness use the same concept to develop the happiness in their own area. And at the same time, the TAT invite the superstar, the James, who is the very famous on the new generation who love the sustainable tourism. And he is the one who will be the one who will be the chain ambassador for Thailand to promote this concept. And right now we join with the TAT to develop the partnership to create the 3 stages of learning. First stage is, we call it inspiration. Second stage is the inner campus. And the third stage is the how can we implement this concept and engage in the integration on the customer and the community. The concept in 3 phases now, we use internally, and at the same time, we partner with the TAT to help the people in Thailand, especially like a resource or the community who want to develop the sustainability in the level of 5-star. So they can learn from what we do, and then they can be able to verify themselves to be the 5-star level in Thailand. And we use the terminology we call SMILE and SMART in training program, in workshop, and also in mentoring to help them to grow up and help them to incubate their learning, so that if they learn from best practice, it's very easy to mapping what they do, and also how can they develop the skill to improve to be the 5-star level. And this is one of the song that came from our student who want to develop themselves as a 5-star level. And when they come to the happiness touch point, during the night, they wrote the song for us. And the song is very inspiring, but it in Thai, but I would like you to listen to the rhythm and the music. And they create like a movie for us to describe what they feel about what they learn from applying IDG to STG.
อิ่มสุดล้นธรรมชาติน่าค้นหาสัมผัสดินต้นไม้ให้วิชาสะท้อนว่าฉันคือใครใจตรองดูได้อาปากเอ็นกายาจิตสงบได้ค้นพบความหมายคลายสงสัยได้ตระหนักเป้าหมายความสุขใจได้ฟื้นฟูรักแก้วใจให้ผู้คนได้โอบกอดต้นไม้หูแนบชิดได้ฝึกจิตประสาทอันสับสนได้สติเพ่งมองในใจตนได้นิ่งอยู่สักคนฉันสุขใจได้ก้าวข้ามสะพานวัดใจฉันได้มุ่งมั่นผู้นำได้ฝึกฝนได้ตระหนักลึกไปในใจตนได้ฝึกฝนสติตนยอดวิชามาเรียนรู้ปรัชญาธรรมชาติเปิดโอกาสปรับคิดจิตแจ่มใสต้องความสุขของคุณอยู่ที่ใดมาที่ไรใจยิ้มให้วิชาได้โอบกอดต้นไม้หูแนบชิดได้ฝึกจิตประสาทอันสับสนได้สติเพ่งมองในใจตนได้นิ่งอยู่สักคนฉันสุขใจได้ก้าวข้ามสะพานวัดใจฉันได้มุ่งมั่นผู้น ได้ฝึกฝนได้ตระหนักลึกไปในใจตนได้ฝึกฝนสติตนยอดวิชามาเรียนรู้ปรัชญาธรรมชาติเปิดโอกาสปรับคิดจิตแจ่มใสความสุขของคุณอยู่ที่ใดมาที่ไรใจยิ้มให้วิชามาที่ไรใจยิ้มให้วิชามาที่ไรใจยิ้มให้วิชา
And we map all the learning activity in terms of the like ESG and SDG. And at the same time, we also do the project for the community. This is the project for the cancer people. And we've developed the happiness, well-being info area in terms of the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and uplift their spirit. We call the concept on stronger than cancer. We use the IDG with the concept to help them to enhance their belief in physical. When they jogging around our campus, like almost 2 kilometers, they feel very tired. But for 90 days program, we enhance them to be the like mini marathon runner. And we develop the tension release in the emotional management, and also set the new belief on rebirth new you on the mental. And at the same time, we create a connection from the inner of the cancer people with the corporate, like a big corporate like Unilever, King's Power, Oracle, something like that, Microsoft, and PTT, the largest company in Thailand, to create the running together. And I think we use the IDG from the being, thinking, relating, collaborating, and the acting, so that they running together and create like a 1 million kilometer runs and give the donation to the cancer hospital. This is the project that we do around the campus in University of Happiness. And this is another one that we did with the PTT, the Petroleum Authority of Thailand. We create the concept learning with nature, connect with the nature, and also we doing the bird house, so that we want the bird. They plant like 1 million trees in the area, but they want to create the reincarnation back from the bird to come back for the tree that they build. Is a project that we did together with the Petroleum Authority of Thailand, and at the same time the tourism, the TAT, combined with us to promote as a tourism hotspot in Thailand also. And at the same time, we collect the knowledge and the learning into the book, and we launched the book named Beyond the Profitability. We address the happiness hormone to build a sustainability on the University of Happiness, and we capture the knowledge and writing in the book, and it's in Thai version, and we just opened and launched the book last month. And at this moment, we have like a IBM Global, IBM Thailand, Bureau Veritas, the French company, and Thailand Productivity Institute, Healthland, and TAT using this concept as a learning for inner development to develop the sustainability area. So this is what we did so far in addressing the IDG as the mean to create the sustainability. And if anybody have a question, please feel free to ask, and I love to share if I can.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for the inspiring presentation, for also nice images. It was very hard to watch from my 0 degrees window here. And what I like the most about your presentation is that you show how tourism can be very transversal between different stakeholders, because you say you were engaging young people, you say you use ESG to train executive managers from corporations and big companies. So and to do this, you're using your homestays or your
we call farm
hotels.
Yeah,
Farm staying, sorry, that is fully sustainable. So when we were thinking about a hub focused on tourism, we were thinking about this kind of initiative. For example, yesterday I was talking with some practitioner in Italy, and they use different kind of workshops or methods on the Alps, so on the mountains, but for teenagers.
I see.
And again, and I was talking with someone else in southern Italy that they use the same framework and different kind of workshop and training to talk and to develop the IDGs with students from the college or primary school. So this is when we were thinking about the tourism as a transversal IDGs, we were thinking about different way to engaging people and transmit, as you were doing, for example, with corporate managers or the authority in Thailand, because you say you are in connection with the National Authority of Tourism in Thailand.
Yeah,
I don't know if there are some questions from someone is curious about Chris' work or how tourism in general can be applied to the IDGs. Okay, Paula. Thank you, Paula, for being here.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Talk soon. Bye.
Actually, please.
Thank you, Chris, very much. I have just been in the process of designing. I have a women's social leadership project in Vanuatu, and one of the projects that we are doing there is to create immersion experiences for others to come and have a cultural engagement and inner development process for a week. So this is very nicely timed for me to meet you all and to be connected and to also learn from your experience and what's worked, and to be able to get that support from from institutional levels of government. The Pacific is far less well resourced than you are in Thailand. So it's it's about bridging, being able to bridge and be able to what's the word I'm looking for? It's to create something new, to be able to set up. One of the things about sustainability and is also cultural sustainability when it comes to tourism, and I know that would have been a challenge for you as well in Thailand, and to be able to reinvent tourism in Thailand is something that is must be such a wonderful feeling to see those pathways opening up. So thank you for your work, and I look forward to being connected and being able to explore and have some support and help for the project in Vanuatu, which is a capacity building project for the women there for their social leadership. Thank you.
I think that's a great job. Actually, in next year, we plan to have the winter festival on the IDG, and we also have the IDG hub. We call the IDG Asian Wisdom Hub. They're gonna getting together at University of Happiness, and we love to invite all of you to join, to share and learn from each other. I think that can be a great learning from all over the place.
Yes, and I think it's very important, the ancient wisdom perspective and to provide opportunities for people with this deep cultural knowledge and understanding to be able to share and have the platform, because we certainly have a lot to learn from everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely. Giovanna, please.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I just want to tell Chris it's amazing, a beautiful place, that a beautiful initiative that he's created, especially for all areas, but most that touched my heart is for cancer patients, because my husband is a cancer patient, and I would love for him to experience something like that. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think one of the thing that I have an experience with the cancer people is that the belief that they have about the cancer. If they see cancer is a big thing and he himself is small, it feel very depressed. But if he feel he is a big and cancer is small, we use the word stronger than cancer. It creates the inner belief first. And if you have the inner belief, like we move the people in physical first, physical from walking into the jogging, into the running, and we have the mountain at the back. And when they reach the top of the mountain, and they have like a stick, and they love that stick very much, because that stick gives them the power in themselves. If they move to the top of the mountain, they said, I'm very strong. And from that mental perspective, it will create the emotional uplift. And we create a community also, like 20 of them go to the top of the mountain together, and they turn from the, what do you call, we call it, they turn from the people with no light into the light of shining from themselves. And when we connect them with the corporate, they are the, what do you call, the pioneer in doing that, and they're running strong and fast, and the corporate need to help them to uplift them. And instead of the corporate uplift them, the cancer people uplift the corporate, because they run with the belief, with the we call it rebirth new you. And I think that's that spirit to uplift one and each other up. And if we have that kind of community, I think it will help the people.
Exactly. I strongly believe that, because my mindset is completely different from his, but it's hard when you have cancer patients in the family and they don't see that vision, you know. And so bringing them to a place like that, where you find this spiritual peacefulness and also, you know, your project is beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. I wish I could come there one day to experience it with him, because it's really, really nice. And I will surely talk to other people about it.
Yeah, please. Winter next year, you come to Thailand.
Next year, it's going to be my 25th anniversary of marriage.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it would be nice to do something different than staying around Italy. Yeah, of course. I'll speak to you also in private, because I would like to have more information about this.
Okay, please.
I don't want to take anybody's time right now. It's almost 12 and probably somebody else wants to talk about it. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on your first place for an amazing project, honestly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Giovanna.
Could I just sorry, Lorraine, were you going to say something? Or it's okay for me to jump in? Okay. I just wanted to ask Eugenio and Chris, like, what may I'd like to understand what your intention was for calling this gathering, what your vision and scope is for where you'd like things to go. Like, how can we, you know, the group that's here today, how can we you know, spread fairy dust for for the idea? What's the vision? Because it, you know, I didn't really have a good understanding about that before I came in. I just know it's an area for me that I got common ground in, and I want to connect with people in this field, in this area, to be able to co-create and develop with. So please tell me what your dream is here.
Sure. So we, as Travel Power, so it's a French-based NGO that promotes sustainable travel, meaningful travel, and positive impact travel. When we found out about this new framework, it was like the missing piece to communicate to people what we would like to do. And as we want to promote a different way of traveling that is not just tourism, because tourism is just a small part, it's an industry of a bigger experience that is traveling. We found out in this IDGs framework the perfect bridge to spread different values also in tourism. So, and for example, I met before Lorraine already, that is doing a great job in South Africa related to sustainable tourism with communities. And so our goal is to bring this new framework to people by the mean of tourism, and at the same time make tourism evolve by involving this new framework. So the IDGs framework, if you know it already, is so far organized around a local or national hubs, because it's the best way probably to map where people are interested. But everyone is developing their sides or in their small own. There is no transversal thematic so far that can bring together different practices around the world. And so we would like to use our platform, our travel platform, to develop and promote the IDGs the same way tourism is promoting the SDGs. So if you now you want to book your holidays, for example, you will find some reference to sustainable development goals everywhere. And not always realistic, but at least is something. As we are very niche in the supply that we are looking for, we would like also to, in addition, apply the IDGs on the side and promote places and practices like the one Chris is running. So if you are looking for your next wedding, anniversary holiday, you can look at Thailand and say, okay, this is the right place, because behind the selfie pictures that I can take, there is also something more that is my inner growth. So they reuse the travel again in a more meaningful way. And at the same time, we would like to involve companies, private companies, corporation, or whoever is interested, because it will make this viable from a financial point of view. So if you're running a corporation and you travel a lot, you can have a look in the IDGs Travel and Tourism Hub to have training, coaching related to traveling, relating to travel practices, or find travel practices that are sustainable from an environmental point of view. This is the main goal. We are in this phase that was just at the beginning, reaching people to understand if locally it makes sense to reach the local hubs of the IDGs, to see if to them is an engaging tool, the travel, because to us it's very engaging if you want to transmit positive messages.
Hi everyone. Okay.
Sorry, I have some
Okay.
question.
Hi. I want to just say thank you, because it was a super interesting meeting, both on the side of, let's say, the framework and then the experience. I'm a landscape architect, so I think I'm a kind of outsider, let's say. But we are trying to develop a plan for sustainable tourism. And it was something new for me to hear about the inner SDG, because usually we, let's say, focus just to the SDG, the one that we know more. So I wanted just to say thank you, because it was interesting to see an application and how it's going great. And that's all. It was just to say thank you and greetings.
Thank you, Gloria.
Yeah,
We are glad you liked it.
Yeah, I also would like to express the appreciation for all of you to listen to what we did, and I love to share on the Asian perspective, especially for the European people, and I think we can learn from each other also, and also I think the best practice sharing is one of the best learning tool. And if you see our practice, especially for IDG to apply to SDG, you are more than welcome to visit our place and learn from that. We have like program like a long stay, or if you like the cancer patient, we also have the we call it Field of Dreams, the place that you can build a house or whatever you want to experience it. So I think it is some kind of learning together and sharing the best practice. And I think in Thailand right now we trying to develop the learning in our country, especially in the area of the food, the beautiful of the scenery. We call it the 4D. One is the first D is about the physical. The second D is about the emotional. Then the third one is the mental, and the fourth one is the spiritual. If we uplift this 4D, we can create the better me, better we, better world. And our slogan is, how can we make the world happy? I think that what University of Happiness is stand for. And I'm glad to meet all of you today.
Thank you, Chris. And to answer to Gloria, before Gloria, you know, there is an Italian hub. Actually, there are around 10 Italian hubs or 10 organizations and companies that are using this framework. And they are all organized more or less in one major national hub. So I will share with you if you're interested in what to talk to them, because it's interesting for your company. I can share you the contacts of Marianne and Amelie. Okay. And they will organize a workshop in Italian soon. So I think it's next week or in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you. To be
actually in the middle of next year, we will have a group of executives from Thailand to create what we call the Green Wellbeing Program from German to Venice. So they ride a bike and climb the mountain or whatever it is. It's a long trip, but they want to experience the green way of developing the well-being for the leaders. And if we can keep in touch, I can try to find a way to engage you all in the process.
It's great, Chris, to be able to create these linkages in different parts of the world across this common theme, because I think by doing that we're able to have more opportunities to share and cross-collaborate and cross-pollinate with one another on each of our initiatives.
Okay.
So I don't know how we do that, like if we are able to create a bit of a hub connection. Is that something for this area? Is that something that you are looking forward to kind of adminning or kickstarting?
Absolutely. that was the first step. And yeah, the fact that we have also from previous webinars a good reaction, it means that it makes sense, and for us it's already a good point. We were sure, but you always need a feedback from other people, and the next step it would be to organize with a little bit more of let's say with a better how can I say regular meeting to share about the same the same thoughts, and especially for our interest about travel and tourism, whatever it could mean to you, but this is the goal exactly. And then use national hubs to bring, as we've done collaborating with Chris, national hubs to bring real application of the framework. So to show to people that it's not just some hippies theories, but there are people applying for real with the results, with the main tangible results actually.
Yeah, we can't knock the hippies.
I love the hippies. You know, Trava Power, the name Trava Power came from Flava Power, flower power of the hippies. So
Yeah.
But when you talk about
they were just early adopters.
yeah, exactly, pioneers of the IDGs. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, and Chris, I've got a background in health and medicine as well, so I've done a lot of work with cancer in the past. Yeah, and so one of my favorite sayings is that, and so I laughed when you said about the mountain climb, because I thought it was so perfect, because one of my favorite things is like cancer is a bigger challenge than climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah. I think it's the new belief for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great life challenge in that respect, because we learn so much out of the journey. Yeah.
We call the concept of rebirth new you. How can you birth the new you in yourself?
Yes.
And use the cancer as a gift.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, there's so much detail I'd like to drop down into, but it's not really the time and the place for it. But I really do look forward to continuing the conversation and doing some, chunking down into some more detail, and because everything I'm doing in Vanuatu is being mapped to the SDGs and the IDGs. So we are bringing that together, and also bringing academics in to do case studies, so that we're also collecting data that can feed back out again.
Yeah, this is what we'd like them to develop in a very consistent way. Also collecting feedbacks and data, so that can be shared and study them for.
I think it will be very helpful, Chris, from your experience, because of what you have already mapped out, and whether you're willing to like how much of that you're willing to share. But it would be so great to have like a document that we work on, like a map for how these general principles of mapping SDGs with the IDGs and ESGs, like just bringing all that together in this context. It could be too soon, but I see that as being very valuable to help more of it grow.
We write it in Thai, and I ask you should know that if you can publish in English, we love to doing so. I think we have some.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. We say that they already have actually in the book that Chris presented before some data, and so they're putting down on paper everything, but so far is in Thai, and
with AI, but that should be easy. My sister-in-law is Thai. Maybe I have to put some pressure on Chris.
Okay, I can send you the Thai version, and if you can possibly be translate, I loving to.
Yeah, well, my email's there. If there's I don't know if there's a PDF version available, but we could certainly, like I think from a translating point of view, that really is probably an one of the easiest challenges out of what we're talking about doing. Like, yeah. But would it be lovely to be able to read your book?
Okay, I can send you some in Thai version in PDF, and if you can have somebody to be able to translate.
Yeah, and then I'll get that back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. You have my email in the chat.
I will then. Yes, sorry, Lauren. And Giovanna also raised the hand.
I was just going to say, it's been very interesting, and Chris, I'm bowled over. I mean, it's really a fabulous project, and you know, I think we have, not to knock what you're doing, we have, I think there's lots of people doing similar things and all in isolation, and it really would be nice if we could all put them together and have some case histories on all the continents, and you know, showcase what everybody's doing. Because when we started this conversation, I was thinking, you know, we're doing nothing about it. But then as you were explaining and as you were going through your presentation, I realized, yes, I know somebody doing that, and I know somebody doing this, and I know, you know, so I mean, we are doing it, but we're not putting it all together collectively. So I think that's what I've learned today, is that we need to just get all these people together, and yeah, thank you for that. Wonderful.
Thank you, Lauren.
Actually, in Thailand, we're gonna develop like a happiness and wellness hub in Asia Pacific in Thailand, especially in around the area of University of Happiness, and it gonna be good for developing like a travel or tour for long stay, or experience the new learning, the new lifestyle changing. It gonna be good from exchanging the perspective learning. And I think it especially in Thailand, about the meditation, about the inner peace, I think that is one of the best place to experience. And I think we can develop the trip or exchange some area of expertise and learning from each other.
Yes,
And Giovanna?
Sorry.
No, sorry, I saw Giovanna raise the hand. I don't know if it's from before.
Yeah, it's from before.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to say thank you. I saw that you wrote that I will get other information, that you will send out more information to us. So I just wanted to thank you for that, and thank you for the occasion of being invited here today. It's very interesting, and I would like to do some projects also if it's possible, and this is a very interesting project. So I just wanted to thank everybody. That's all. And if I can have more information, I would be grateful. And I would love to meet Chris next year on my 25th anniversary.
Okay.
Giovanna, what was your interest in coming?
What's that?
What was your interest? Do you have a project in the background, or what was your interest?
Well, I wanted to do, I have a project for cancer patients, and I wanted to do something where they can, it's an experience more than anything else. I mean, I wanted to do it because I have my brother-in-law and my husband are both cancer patients, and my father-in-law passed away from it. So I think it's very important to help these people deal with all the emotions, all the they have inside. And right now it's very it's very fresh for me. So there's a lots of feelings, and it's too soon because it's recently. My husband is since 2016, but my brother-in-law is just since 24th of September. And my father-in-law, it's been since 2009. So it's just one after the other. And I think that having the right mindset and having a beautiful place for them to have an experience like the one that Chris was showing us is very nice. Because in Italy, let's say there's not a lot of this type of understanding for cancer patients. And I know because I've dealt with lots of hospitals. So when you find, excuse me, it's just, it's fresh right now. So when you find these type of projects and community, it's nice. That's all. And I would like to create something like that.
Well, I'm sending you a big hug.
Thank you, Wendy. God bless you all.
I personally give all my support, Joanna. I've been through myself all this when I was just 18, and I understand that it's overwhelming. And as you were saying, we have the strength and we have the ability to deal with this, but the environment, especially the environment of hospitals or that is around this, doesn't help at all, because it is an environment of suffering, is an environment very cold in such a way. Meanwhile, the best things we can have, or these people in need can have, is positive inputs. And in this sense, he came to the family that to brings on the shoulder everything and shows smiling again. So I'm grateful that I came through, and it was tough. And it was also thanks to the people that I was close to, that I had close to me, that are very, in their small scale, very innovative ideas, a very innovative way to keep my mood up. And of course, if we can use, as I was saying, the travel, that it is a very engaging, also powerful tool to help in a structured way people, it would be great.
Exactly. God bless you. And thank you for sharing that with me. It's go ahead, Chris. Sorry about that.
Actually, we have the project next year from the cancer hospital. They want us to help not just the small group, but 100,000 people in Thailand, for the cancer patient to be more proactive and more stronger than cancer. And we try to find a sponsor, and we try to find a volunteer to help it. And if any of you would love to help us, or you can develop, I don't know, it's some kind of partnership or collaboration or whatever it is, because we strongly believe on preventive, not just the cure. And we try to develop the cancer people as a role model, so that they can reborn again, and it can be able to help the people, especially for the NCD and the cancer people, to create a preventive world, not just a reactive world. And it love if you can join or do with the travel or with the volunteer or with whatever it is. We love to be what do you call?
Yeah. Thank you very much. It seems a very nice invitation. And yes, let's keep in touch. It would be nice to do something together also. I think that every country needs support to these patients, and at times the government is not there for them. The hospitals, I mean, we have to do on our side here, everything is privately. It's not possible. So at this point, sometimes, we say, why not create something, an environment where they can feel, that they can relive their life, like have a second life, like you were saying, Chris. And it'd be nice, because sometimes when depends, like my husband had 2 cancers right now. One was at his kidney, and the other one is his thyroid. But my brother-in-law, it was his liver and his intestines. So they're more delicate, this situation. So making them believe that there is a second possibility to relive your life, and in a different environment. Even if I have to fly to Thailand, I don't care. It would be nice, to have these type of change of cultures also, and stuff like that. It makes them I don't know how to explain it. It makes them
it opens up a new space.
Change their mindset. It makes them change their mindset, I personally think, because living it and living the part spiritual also made me change, how to relate with him also. because before I didn't have much of my spiritual part. I had more of the other types of feelings and stuff like that. But I think that faith and spiritual helps a lot in these situations. And I wish to God that I would be able to transfer this to him in some way. And I've done a lot of I've gone to a lot of events to help me get back on my feet, to be able to help him and his family. But I understand also that when somebody doesn't want to be helped, there's nothing you can do except, for them to say, okay, when it's time, then I'll do it. But sometimes I find that if you do that, time passes by and he'll never have that experience. You understand? So your project is very, very interesting, and also very touching. And I just hope that it will be very, very, I'm confident that it will be very, very successful. You'll have much success, and I wish you all the best to everybody in this place right now, in this webinar. Thank you. Sorry for
Thank you, Joyce. Thanks a lot.
I had a thought, Chris, because I think, what's well organized in a lot of developed countries is their cancer organizations, the non-government organizations and associations for cancer charities. I do think that there is scope there to be able to put a summit together from the University of Happiness specifically for inner development goals and cancer at that intersection, and be able to gather support internationally by linking in with these international, like national organizations within different countries. And it's probably a starting point is to pick half a dozen countries and then focus on the idea of pooling together to create a summit.
Yeah,
and this is
right, yeah.
with the IDG summit, that's what was so successful. Like I can imagine, Chris, you got the perfect venue there to be able to host a summit, but also learning from the IDGs summit experience, how well that was managed for guests from participants from around the world to be able to, it's a big thing. I know it's possible to do, so I'm just kind of throwing out the possibility, not that I'm able at this moment to contribute much to that happening, except to share the idea at the moment, because I can see that is a way to bring your dream into reality. And those privileged countries, like Australia or Canada, or, dealing with America is a bit challenging, because but in other developed countries, in countries in Europe, where they do have these organizations and they do a great job for people who have cancer and also for cancer research, I think that, I think there's a ready-made, that they would be hungry for something to be able to connect the people that they're representing or are advocates for, to be able to connect in the middle. So I just want to put that out as an idea to follow.
Yeah, that's great. We can put something together and develop some project and present back to IDG in Stockholm next year. Why not?
You already have so much marketing material and maturity in what you're communicating about, and runs on the board. So, like, in terms of credibility, so I do think you have everything in place to start expanding out and getting that international connections going. And let's get that book done, and then I'm happy to talk more. I can help throw ideas around together. And then there's plenty of people out there who'd want to help.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a perfect way to reach them. And if you agree, I will share your contacts with Chris. We share and also Lorraine. I mean, between all of us, by law, I should ask you the permission to do this because for privacy and so on. But as we saw that the participants are very aligned and want to keep talking about this, we can create for the first part to the beginning a mailing list to share quiz presentations, and then keep talking for next meetings or brainstorming.
Okay, I love to move to the next step. Thank you very
Great.
much for everyone to share the great
Thanks.
idea.
Thanks for being here, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And as soon as the recording is done, yeah, you'll send it out, will you, Eugene?
Yes, we will send you the recording too.
Please, because
So
I
we'll
want to
have the
share it with
recording?
some people. Yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that.
yeah, I want to share it.
Yeah.
with
And I
quite
will
a
share
lot of
you.
people.
We also have a previous recording from our webinars, some of them including the IDGs. So I will share you also the others are on YouTube. So we will create. We are creating a channel that can collect these first steps and give us the basis to go ahead.
That's it.
Okay,
Great. Super.
perfect.
Look
Thank
forward
you.
to that.
And
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you very much.
Good luck.
we take a
Bye now.
picture.
Thank you for your
Daniel, can I ask
participation.
you a question? Are you from, I didn't get because I missed the first part, but are you from Italy or you're from France? Where are you from? I didn't get where you're from.
I would say Europe. I'm Italian, as my name and my accent suggests.
Yeah, I see that.
Uh,
That's Italian, but where are you
yes.
from?
I'm connected from Prague right now. I live in
Okay.
Prague. Okay.
Okay.
But the NGO that I'm running is based in Paris. So it's a French NGO, and they used to host them to everything is connected. So it's called Ethic BNB, and he used to host doctors and nurses during the pandemic that were moving around France and didn't find a place to rent. So we used empty BNBs and hotels to host them almost for free. And now we are developing, now that the pandemic is not fortunately there anymore, we are developing a side project called Travel Power to promote a different way of traveling or different ways of traveling.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
amazing.
And you're originally from where in Italian? In Italy, Praga. You said Praga? Or you're based in Prague?
I live in Prague right now. I'm originally from Latina.
Latina, dai.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm originally from Canada, but I'm here in Rome. It's 25 years I live in Rome. So
yeah, I've studied there. I mean, we are neighbors.
Well, next time you're here, you let me know. We'll
Great.
we'll
Absolutely.
hook up. Okay.
Great. Okay. Thank you,
And
Joanna.
Lorraine, where are you from, Lorraine?
I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa, but originally from Ireland, but I've been here for years and years. I'm a dual citizen of South Africa. It's my home. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. And Wendy, where are you from?
In Sydney, Australia.
Oh, I have a nice friend there in I think it was Sydney. Yeah. Well, she's in Australia, that's for sure. She's asked me to come there many times, but too long distance for to take a plane right now. With high blood pressure, it's too many hours. It's not convenient.
Oh,
Nice to meet you all.
Our
It was nice
problem
to chat
too.
with you. It's been a long time. I haven't spoken in English, so let's say it's
Oh, yeah, thank
20
you.
something years. But it's
Very
nice when you speak with people that speak your own language, it's nice. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a good day and
Can we take
nice,
a picture of
good luck.
you?
Good luck with all your situation.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
God bless
Thank
you all.
everybody. God
Ciao,
bless.
Thank
Chris.
you, everyone.
And can we
Thank
take
you,
a
everyone,
picture?
for speaking English.
Can we take a picture of you?
Of me right
we are-
now, you can take my picture of the one that's there. Right
Okay.
now, I'm not presentable, so yeah, you can take a picture. It's no problem.
Okay. Okay. Good night and
Thank you
Yeah,
very much
good
for
night
being
to
here.
you. Us, it's still daytime here. It's 12. Actually, we're going for lunch right now. Good night to you guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.